Hi everybody, here's Monday's English lesson. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Leave a message on Teams to let me know what you got up to. Now on screen you can see the starter task. Today we're focusing on adjectives. Adjectives are describing words, okay? Often they're used to describe a noun. So if we look at the first sentence, the old man walked down the street. Which word in that sentence describes the noun? Hopefully you said old, okay? With that adjective, we know the age of the man. Without the adjective, we might have pictured a different man. We might have pictured a young man. So the adjective is really helpful to the reader. Pause the video. On your piece of paper, see if you can write down the other 5 adjectives. Have a go. I'm now going to reveal the answers so you can mark your own work. Number 2, bouncy. That describes the noun ball. 3, red. 4, grumpy. 5, straight. 6, broken. Let me know how you got on Teams afterwards. Now, on Friday, we listened to the story. The copy of the One Chance story is on Teams. So if you miss Friday's session, you can either go to the folder on Teams and find this document and then read it for yourself, or you can play Friday's lesson because you can listen to the author, Dean, reading out the story himself, okay? That might help you to sometimes people prefer other people to read than the story. So you can do that. Now on Friday, at the end of the lesson, we started to pick out some of the bold words and work out what they mean. So we're going to carry on with that today. So on screen, this isn't the beginning of the story. We're sort of on the, I'm not sure what paragraph we're on, but we're on the second page. Here are some other words that are bold. Same as Friday, I'd like you to go back to the text, find these words in the sentences so you can look at the context. And on your piece of paper, I'd like you to write down what you think they mean. So, for example, redeemed. Go back to the text. Let's see if I can find it. It's not on that part, is it? I don't want to go to the next page because it might give it away. Let's see if I can find that word. Let's go quickly. Here we go, the final word. The second wish had been redeemed. Okay, so she'd gone into the bin and she'd looked for the ticket and then she'd realised the second wish had been redeemed. Now, what do you think that word means? So write it down on your piece of paper. Other ones we've got exclusive, rummaging or rubbaged, suddenly, stashed, immense. Now I think you might already be familiar with these words, but it's still good to practice going back to the text just to check that you've got the right meaning, because sometimes words have more than one meaning. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, I'm now going to reveal the answers so you can mark your own work. Remember that you may have written something slightly different, but it may also be correct. So redeemed means claimed. So in the story, the wish had sort of been claimed, it had been taken, it was crossed out. Exclusive. So one way of describing exclusive is unique. So sometimes you might go to a shop and something may be exclusive to that shop so that you can't buy it anywhere else. So it's unique to that shop. Rummaging, so sort of searching. You might be rummaging through your school bag looking for your homework. It means searching. Sullenly, that sort of means sulky. Stashed, that's put away. Immense, in the story that word meant enormous, so like really big. Let me know how you got on afterwards. Here are the final words. There's lots of words. I think this is the final set. Yes, it is. So we've got howl, distraught, compensation, discarded, turmoil, gathered herself together. So same process, go back to the text, work out what these words mean, write your ideas down, and then come back afterwards and check if you agree with me. Right, I'm now going to reveal the answers. So howled, so like roared. I think it was talking about the wind. So the wind roared, it was really noisy. Distraught means upset. Compensation, it can be a payment, so it's like when you give something to somebody, so if some damage has occurred or someone's had a loss. Discarded, so threw away, so you might discard of your rubbish. Turmoil, so confusion, sort of panic. Gathered herself together, so sort of she became, so she sorted herself out. Remember that you may have slightly different ideas, but they may also be correct. Now we're going to look at synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms and antonyms often appear in the SPAG Sats paper and as well in the secondary school tests. Synonyms and antonyms are also really important for your writing. So if you write a first draft, a teacher might ask you to go back through your work and to check and to find some synonyms because maybe you've used boring adjectives. So it's always good to have a wide vocabulary to help you up-level your work. So a synonym is a word that has a similar meaning to another word, and an antonym is a word that is an opposite word. For example, the target word is squally, so similar words: stormy, windy, blowy, blustery, breezy, tempestuous. Now they've circled that word because that's their favourite, that's their best synonym. Okay, so if you can think of more than one synonym, once you've made your list, circle your favourite. If you could only think of one synonym, that's also fine, but try and challenge yourself to think of at least two for each word. Antonym, so an antonym of squally is tranquil. So tranquil means calm, pleasant, serene, motionless, undisturbed. So the example shows lots of different ones. At the bottom here, just to remind you, so I guess you've already got one synonym for each word because I've shown you what we talked about last session. So shabby means tatty. So see if you can think of some other synonyms that also mean tatty. Once you finish synonyms, then think of opposite words to shabby. Pause the video and complete the 4 words that are on screen. Okay, I'm now going to reveal my ideas, so you might have different ones. I'm looking forward to seeing your answers on Teams afterwards. So you can read mine, I'll read a few of them out. So scowled, got stared, glared. I struggled to find an antonym of scowl. I thought I'd go for looked, but I guess maybe I chose looked because it's not staring or glaring, but maybe I could have sort of thought about something which doesn't involve looking at all. So actually I think I could have done that one better. Rummaged, I sort of put jumbled, searched. Often rummage means sort of you're chaotically searching. So my antonyms were sort of like an organised search. I must admit I did find the antonyms definitely trickier than the synonyms. I wonder if you agree with me, or did you find it easier to find antonyms? Shabby, I find that one easier to find the antonyms, so I went for clean, fresh, tidy, whereas my synonyms were decaying, dilapidated, rundown, ratty. Okay, so you can read the rest, see if you've thought of any of the same as me, or share your work on Teams afterwards if you've thought of other ones. That's the end of today's session. Tomorrow we will finish off the target words for synonyms and antonyms, and then we'll be moving on to something else. Thanks for joining in.